When I was a member of the primary presidency in the Spanish-speaking ward in Honduras, my responsibility was to teach the teacher in service class. The first lesson that I was to teach was called Teaching by the Spirit. To illustrate this principle, I explained to the teachers about the two different sharing times that I had taught. The first, which was very successful, I had fasted and prayed and put my trust in the Lord that He would help me because I really needed it. My Spanish was terrible. The second, a few months later, I had become a little bit more confident, and I was rushed and didn't bother to call on the Lord for help, and the lesson was a disaster. And the teachers were all nodding their heads as I explained this because they'd all experienced both lessons, and they could see the difference and were wondering why the second one hadn't turned out as well as the first. As I was continuing to explain about teaching by the Spirit, I said, now I was given this calling because, and then I drew a blank. It was like the Lord had drawn a veil over my memory and I couldn't remember what I was supposed to say. The only thing that would come to mind was I was called because I was raised in the church, because I have been teaching primary since I was 16, because this is the second time I've been a counselor in the primary presidency, and because I am a college graduate, and I knew none of those were right. So I said, why? Why was I given this calling when any one of you could teach this class better than I can? And one woman raised her hand and she said, it's because of your difficulty speaking Spanish. The Lord knew that by giving you this calling, you would have to call on Him. You would have to humble yourself and call on Him to help you. And that would result in an increase in your faith. And she was exactly right. That's exactly what happened. It was a great lesson for me to learn that day that we need these weaknesses. And even if we don't have weaknesses, we still need to call on the Lord so that we can be successful and have the Spirit with us as we work in His kingdom.